It's the last of Modapalooza. Are you excited? I guess not. Hey y'all, welcome to the Ginger Walkabout. This is the third and final installment of Modapalooza that has taken place during the COVID-19 confinement, starring, of course, Uncle Pat, and a few cameos from some other family and friends, so funsies. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is what I'm calling the seat back mod. Now, here's the thing. It's not really a seat. When you get the G floor plan, it has that puzzle bed that the dinette turns into, you saw in the previous video. And part of that puzzle bed is that little jump seat that's in the slider opening that in the case of the lithium models houses the inverter, in the case of the non-lithium models houses the freshwater tank. So when the G floor plan to make that puzzle bed, it comes with two what I would call free-floating cushions that don't have a place to live when you're not using the puzzle bed. Now, one of them, the big one that kind of goes in the doorway with the bar, and I just put that in storage right away. I don't need that. I don't have anywhere to store that giant thing, and it's just, to me, it's dumb. So that just didn't even make it out of Virginia Beach. And then you have the piece that when you slide the seat forward from the inverter box, then it fills in behind it to finish making what I would say is the foot of the bed. And that extra cushion just sort of hangs out. And Scott over at Go Small Live Large, shout out, love you, miss you. He has it, he showed how he squishes it between the passenger seat and the wall to hold it up, sort of as a backrest. But it's not perfect. So I wanted a backrest, and people on the Facebook group have come up with different ways to do that. But of course, I'm here with the family extraordinaire, and Uncle Pat's son, my cousin Matt, who by all accounts, and even according to his father, might be even more handy than Uncle Pat. He also has welding skills. So he took the bracket for the grab handle that's already on there, and he just welded more things onto it and made this awesome backrest. And God bless him, he did it. He finished it a couple days before his wife gave birth to twins. So luckily I got that one mod out of him, because now he doesn't see the light of day. There's no hanging out in the garage doing projects for family members at this time, because his project is his wife and those two new babies. So congratulations to them. But twins are a lot, y'all. Anyway, so then I got the bracket from my cousin, and then my friend Andrew helped me install it with the many screws. And then Uncle Pat and I tackled the cushion. So let's get to that. Remember, kids, pilot holes are your friend. Original bracket right here. Extra bracket with many screws to make it as solid as possible. Cushion goes here. All the screws. Many screws. Many screws. Done?
Done.
All the screws. So many screws. But now this cushion needs to get attached to the backrest so it doesn't go flying around when I'm driving down the road. So we decided to do grommets. Now they are very tiny grommets, and they are going to go behind the place on the backrest, and you won't see them. And then the concern is that this fabric is thin and it's that ultra leather, fake leather. And so you don't want those grommets to come out is the concern. So Uncle Pat over there doing some more work. So Pat, yes, as he just said, gave up a pair of his work boots and he cut the leather toe out of them. And we have used that as backing for the grommet. And then, because we are crazy, we actually glued the leather to the fabric to increase the surface area that the grommet is putting force on. And we did the same thing over on that side. So now that that's in there, we need something to put the string around. All right, so then we made wooden buttons to put shoestrings in.
They're a little long. We might probably have to cut them.
We'll cut them. It's fine.
Peel it back over it, or
that's probably. I think that's how we. All right.
Now we can tie it in place.
Now we got.
See how the pressure is on it for that, so it's spread out over there, pretty good area.
Yeah. So
I still wouldn't use these for hanging straps.
No, we're not hanging on things. All right.
It's terrible.
That's how it goes. Well, see, that's why we need the ties, is so that it doesn't do that.
Possibly come around it like this. Back around it like this. And tie it in a bow like this. And it should stay there pretty good. Just get it by doing this right, just like that. Just tie it like that. Mama taught me how to tie a shoe when I was 4 years old. I remember the day, maybe the first thing I can remember in my life. The day I learned to tie my shoes. Okay.
All right. There should be. So we didn't want it super tight because
You can loosen that up some on the ties if you want.
yeah, I mean, we can still loosen it up because you still got to be able to get your hand in here to use the grab bar, and you got to be able to get your hand back here to get the door handle.
You just don't want the wind to blow it over every time you open the door,
You
right?
just don't want the wind to blow it over, and I don't want it to go flying around when I'm driving down the road. So I feel like this is a successful
And you want to cut those and
cushion
burn the ends
modification.
on it a little bit to get
Yeah, we should probably shorten this.
Let me go get it.
So there we go. Bench seat. No longer does the cushion have to be jammed in between the passenger seat and the wall. And it will stay right there as it's supposed to. And it is easy to remove and move or manipulate or tighten up or whatever you want to do, because you got little grommets back there with the strings in it. Cut the strings off. Most people will get a cigarette lighter. Uncle Pat doesn't smoke, so we go full propane torch. Don't try this at home, kids. All right, so that seat back was probably the last major mod. Then I had some, let's just call them electrical decorative mods that we wanted to knock out. Now, some of these, we got down to stuff where I would just mention offhand, you know, I really hate that this is this way. And next thing I know, Uncle Pat would just set to work. So I got to the point, I'd just leave the van unlocked. And then I'd go out and things would be done. So, now, don't get me wrong. He didn't do anything that I didn't authorize. It's my van. But yeah, so we knocked out some of these little electrical things that were bugging me. We modded some of my mods. Anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so one thing that drove me nuts was, and I think I talked about this in my things I like and dislike about my Travato, was the outlets for the dinette area, otherwise known as my office, are up. There's the media cabinet, right? There's the Jensen that I never use, are up underneath there. And I already switched out the USB outlet for a 12 volt because it's much more versatile than those very slow charging USB outlets that Winnebago puts in. But I still hated all the wires hanging down in front of the window and the table. It just looks junky, and it's like the first thing you see when you walk in here. So I had run a power strip from that outlet down along the window and down onto the bench and whatnot. But it still wasn't great. So call in Uncle Pat and you get outlets under the table where they belong. So there's the Truma. But did you know that the Truma is plugged into basically what is a household 110 outlet? And it has a second plug. So we just got a power strip and Uncle Pat plugged it in there and ran the wire under the edge of the dinette, and then it comes up, and now there's a power strip under the table where it belongs, and it's got little USB, doodads. But yeah, now again, don't get crazy, right? So I would not be using that power strip if you got this Truma running on electric. That takes a lot of juice. You don't want to overload that circuit. But if you're not using the Truma on electric, get it. There's also a new 12 volt outlet. And that is because unless the inverter's on, which I try to keep off unless I'm using the AC or the microwave or I'm on shore power. So if I don't have the inverter on, that power strip's going to be pretty much useless. So I wanted a 12 volt down here. And the thing is, turns out, if you go under the dinette seat, all you got to do, all under here, is just under the freezer, and back, there's a Truma vent, and then there's the panel. And so basically all the wiring for everything in the entertainment center and the Truma and everything comes up under this bench. So it was very easy to run some wire and add a circuit and get a 12 volt under there. So I don't know why Winnebago doesn't put 12 volts under there. Now, it is, if you have two people sitting on the bench seat, I suppose they would bump into anything you have plugged in down there under the table. But that's the only thing I can think of that would be an issue with having outlets down there on the wall where they belong. Alright, so another thing we did, there are reading lights for the bed on the back door of the van. And the problem is that the screen snaps in around this section. And you can see the snaps on the side there, and it snaps all up there and around down the sides. And those reading lights, I never used them, and they pushed the screen, so the screen gapped. And so Uncle Pat took them down. And then he made those little wood things to cover up the holes. So he took that whole plastic panel off and rigged those up and put it back on so I don't have holes. And we got the wires taped up in there so they don't disappear down into the door or wherever they originated. So if someone wants to put the reading lights back up, they can do that. But now my screen is not going to get messed up by the reading lights that I never used. My overslider shelf mod has been modded. We replaced the white wire shelf that was up there, which was, it's just not the most attractive thing. I mean, those things are made to be inside of closets where no one's really looking at them. So we replaced it with this lovely wood shelf that, of course, Uncle Pat made. And it's got a lip on it so that, so that stuff can't slide out. And it's got a little piece of reinforcement in the back so that this, it's just plywood so the plywood doesn't bow. And it's been sealed. And we put this little, just screwed this little lip in and attached it. Right now it's attached with a double-sided, VHB type sticky tape. And I hope that it stays there. If not, we've got plans to fix that. And then over here, he made this sort of little, ledge thingy. So that it's just sitting on this ledge right here. That's all. So I didn't lose any storage space back in here or anything. It's just sitting there. And it's much more sturdy and attractive than the white wire one. The only thing you're going to notice is that you can't see the volta gauge, which is of course off right now because I'm not using the van. But you can't see it very well unless you get up here, and sometimes I gotta stand on my tippy toes. But that's okay because I have the Bluetooth module on my volta gauge, and so I can just look at the volta gauge from my phone. And I mean, worst case scenario, the gauge reflects up on the ceiling, and so I can tell if it's at least, green, yellow, or red, or blue. So anyway, so that's the only downside of that mod if you're thinking about putting a shelf up there that's not see-through, is that you're not going to be able to see that gauge. But I'm also starting to put stickers on the bottom. And that way, if I ever sell the van, I can take this shelf out and keep it. And I'm going to have my stickers up there. So I'm working on that. Working on my stickers. All right, so I am officially calling a conclusion to Modapalooza. But I'm still here. I'm still with Uncle Pat. So there's still a few things that are probably going to get done. I bought a cell booster, so that's going to get installed. And, I had a roof leak and a sealant problem. And had to go deal with the Winnebago and the warranty situation. So that's going to probably be my next video for y'all. Whew, I'll tell you what. Anyway, so here's something we should do. I'm well over 600 subscribers. Anyway, a while back when I had like 200 subscribers, I did a thing where I said, if you send me your mailing address, I will send you a Ginger Walkabout sticker. Okay, I got these stickers. I will send you one. You need to send your address to me, ginger@thegingerwalkabout.com. I'll put it down below. I will send you a sticker completely free of charge. The sticker's free. The mailer's free. The postage is free. I'm paying for all of that out of my pocket as a thank you to you guys for watching and subscribing. I am not selling your addresses. In fact, I couldn't even tell you who got stickers in the original go-around, so I guess if you want another one, let me know. Because once I put your address on the envelope, I delete it. I don't keep it. You can ask any of the people that got the sticker the first time if they got any additional mailing weirdness, something from me. Nope, I literally delete it. So if you trust me enough to send me your address, then something you can get a piece of mail in the U.S. Postal Service. So even if it's a P.O. box, that's fine. Don't care. I'm not showing up on your doorstep, I promise. Anyway, so thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm hoping to get back on the road again next month because I just have to. Anyway, and stay safe out there, and hopefully one day I will see you on the road.